Good morning, it's me. I'm back. I'm Stephanie Flath, Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I'm coming to you live for real on a Wednesday. I'm not just faking you out. Last week was something. So it is Wednesday, April 12th, 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time. So I'm going to be sharing a few things that will be retiring and a couple things that are sticking around, but some really cool projects. So, hi, Carrie. And I'm going to refresh my screen here a sec so that I can see comments all the time. I'm going to move this a second. Even when I'm stamping with you. So, just a second. Hi, Dot. Did it refresh? Just a sec. Oh, I see everybody. Hi, Nancy. Thank you for joining me. Oh, and thanks for sharing already, Dot. That's awesome. I appreciate it. So if you're new to me, make sure that you share my video because I give away what I stamp. So that's one of the first things that I do when I get started is I run my randomizer. That's what I call it. So I put in all the names of people that shared and came back and told me that they shared. And then I pick a name. So I have my Post-it notes here. So also I have, well, no, I'll talk about that later. Okay. So, I am, excuse me, I'm just going to head over right away and do my randomizer here. I only have a few names here. Last week was weird. Wednesday didn't work, so I went live on Friday, and either people didn't realize I was still going to go live on Friday or didn't get the notice, or they were busy because it was Good Friday. Okay, so I'm starting my randomizer. Oops, it didn't start. Oh, Deanna Edwards, you are my first winner. Yay. I just saw you yesterday. I don't think she's on yet. Hi, Sandy. Deanna Edwards is my first one. Pick another name and start. Congratulations. And Dot Alighire, yay, I know you're on. Thank you for sharing. So I have a card for you. So what were these cards? I forgot. Oh, citrus cards. Oh, Dina's not gonna like it. She doesn't like fruit. Okay. So I'm going to get back to my comments. Hi, Marcia. Thank you for sharing. I appreciate it. So I already did my randomizer, so we're all good there. So I'm going to be using a couple stamp sets that actually one's a bundle that are retiring. One is from the mini catalog and one is from the full catalog that's been around for a while. Hi, Terry. So I decided that I wanted to use what is it called now? Just a sec. I'll show you them. Oh, Celebrate Sunflowers. I wanted to use this one more time. This is an amazing stamp set. And so, hi, Janet. So you need to make sure that you get this. It's not bundled anymore, but the dies are still available, last that I saw. I did check last night sometime. I updated my retiring list. I keep having to cross things off because they sell out. But as far as I know, right now, Celebrate Sunflowers and the dies are still available. So that's one retiring item that I'm going to show. And the other one is Desert Details. I know the sunflowers are so pretty. For some reason, it was one thing that I actually like coloring. I know you have it and love it. Yay, that's awesome. Okay, so Desert Details is the other one. This is in the mini catalog. And I've used this more for, I love these words. You are what sunshine feels like. That makes me happy. So there's these, and then the dies. And I am using a couple of the dies, but I already have it cut out. So they're kind of cool. They're sort of, oh, what is that word? I can't think of the word of what this gives a vibe of. Well, desert. There's another word that I'm looking for and I can't think of it. Oh, okay. And another thing that I'm using, I'm actually using this on both cards so you can see both designs, is this is dry brushed metallic designer paper. Can you see that? There's metallic and there's gold and it's amazing. And I have a question. Anybody who's a demonstrator on here, Southwestern, that's it. Thanks, Sandy. I knew there was a word. Anybody who's a demonstrator on here, I keep forgetting to ask this and I keep looking at lists and not seeing it. Okay, so we have a list that this is on of, we have excess inventory of this. And I don't know why, because this is some gorgeous designer paper. But it's weird. Designer paper. Thank you for sharing, Marlene. So it's not carrying forward in the next catalog, but I'm wondering if Stampin' Up's going to keep it in their online exclusives. Does anybody know? Because it's not on the retired list, but we have a bunch of it, Stampin' Up says. So, not on the retired list, not in the new catalog. So, anyway, wondering if any of my demonstrators that watch me know the answer to that, because I don't. I haven't called or asked or seen in a leader group this mentioned specifically. So anyway, just wondering. Also, something to mention, in case you were a lover of shimmery cardstock, it's also not on the retired list, or wasn't when it was first printed. I don't know if it still is now, but it's gone. It's not in the next catalog, and you can't get it because it's just gone. So I liked it every now and then, but I didn't use it tons. So I did use it for my whipped cream on my milkshake card for my class last week and this week, actually. But otherwise, I don't use it that much. Okay, so I'm going to get started stamping after I get a quick drink. And so I need to put you down, do my magic one on backwards you, need to upside down you, and tip you down. Okay, so here we are. So I'm going to get started with the sunflower first. So, okay, I'm being lazy. I'm not using my Stamparatus because I'm not going to be able to anymore because I don't want people to fall in love with it. But I didn't want to get out a bigger block that this would fit on. I have my citrus stuff. I'm using Memento, by the way, because I am going to be using Stampin' Blends. I have my big citrus stamps on the E-block, which this probably would fit on. And I just didn't want to take it off. So I'm just sort of holding this under here when I ink it up. And then I'll have to push on it when I'm done with that now. When I stamp it too. Okay, so I'm gonna go right here. Okay, so I'm doing something different with this stamp than what I've done. And I'm not sure if I've ever seen anybody else do this. I know sometimes when I stamp anyway, I have a problem with, oh, isn't that awesome? I just love that. I have a problem veering away from reality. So like, if I'm stamping a bird, I have a problem stamping, let's see, like a green bird, because I'm not sure that I've seen it in nature, or a flower. I'm not sure if I've seen a blue rose, or something like that. So I have a problem pulling away from that, but I decided with this today, partly because of the colors that I wanted to use, I'm going to, instead of coloring this like I would typically color my sunflower, I'm going to color it like a Gerber daisy. Don't you think this looks like it could be a Gerber daisy? I love those gorgeous bright colors, and I'm sure well, no, I don't know. I feel like they're manipulated to be those colors, but I still love them. I think they're cool. So that's my plan for this, but I'm going to let this dry a little bit. So this is one of my, so the colors of this brushed metallic designer paper, besides the gold, it's Calypso Coral and Soft Succulent. And this one doesn't have very much Calypso Coral on, but I'll be able to see it on the outside edges. I used up all the pieces. True, colors do make it more whimsical, but sometimes I just have a problem. Like, can I? Like, I have to give myself permission or something. I don't know. It's weird. So, so I used in a swap when I first had this. I used all of the designer paper that had much more of the Calypso Coral on it. So this just sort of has like edges and right here. So this design that I'm going to be doing will work. So I'm just letting this dry a little bit. I guess what I can do though, while this is drying, I also want this to be on a background. I haven't used this in a while and remembered it recently. I thought about using it for, oh, where'd they go? Oh, there it is. I thought about using it for my my citrus class and decided against it. So these are not retiring. These are called Artistic Mix Decorative Masks. And so hopefully you can see that well, even though there's, maybe that'll be, there we go, that's better. So these are sort of like flowers. There's two sets of shapes like labels here, and then there's also the inside of those labels. So this would obviously be, you'd be inking inside, and these would allow you to ink just around the outside of it. And then there's this great big plaid one. This quatrefoil, is that what this is called? And then this one's my favorite and what I'm using. So this is a smaller plaid, and I just love it. Now I want a background here, but it doesn't have to be very big or very dark. I actually want it to be light, and I'm not, actually, I am going to put this down on my scrap, and I'm going to use my post-it notes. I'm going to use Deanna and Dot to hold my mask down. Okay, so I'm using soft suede, but only because I was using this color. I'm using this color like for part of the flower. So I'm starting off on here because I want it to be light, and then moving on to here. And I sort of have this dark corner, but that's okay. But I'm just sort of doing around the sunflower. Okay, we're gonna be good with that. Yes, thanks for your help, Dot. I appreciate it. All right. Now we'll lift it off. Okay, So I have my background on here with the masking. So this was a small brush that I used, small blending brush. I think they're, I don't know if they're $1 or 50 cents cheaper than the bigger ones, but they're good for getting in smaller spaces. Obviously, I just used it for my normal. I'm also going to do my greeting here while I'm waiting for this to get nice and dry. So I'm using Let's Celebrate You. All right, now I have to use the trick of making sure that my block is straight with the edge of my cardstock, because my label slid on here or something. I love that greeting. I love the sprawly combined with the all caps. I just love them. Okay, so now I'm going to get coloring. So the first thing that I'm going to do, so I'm going with Calypso Coral. We're going to make a coral Gerber daisy. But I'm going to start with the center. And so I'm going to make the center all mostly yellow. So this is the light Daffodil Delight. And then I want a lot of dark around the edges here. All right, so this is sort of opposite of what I usually do for my daisy, or I mean my what do you call it? My sunflower when I do it. Okay, so now I'm laying down all the light Calypso Coral. I'm gonna do like a quarter of my card. Just lay down all of this, or a quarter of the flower, I should say. This, I'm not trying to be perfect exactly. And then I'm going to come back, and I feel like I need to lower you guys down. Do you guys feel like I need to lower you down? Oh, that didn't really lower it. Just a sec. Oh, I can't do that one. It just seems far away today. I don't know why. How's that? Okay. All right. So now I'm going to take and add the dark. I'm just sort of adding it on the black lines. I'm not really outlining anything. Just doing the lines. And then I'm going to go back over it with the light again to spread it. Sort of getting some of the corners that I missed, or the tips of the flowers that I missed while I'm doing this. So tell me, have you guys seen the sunflower shown as like a daisy instead? Okay, oops, I keep closing that one. I can go on to the next part. I don't know that I have. It's always the nice, I would always use crushed curry, like cardstock with it. And then I didn't have crushed curry blend, so I would just use Daffodil Delight and deepen it. Okay. All right, and coming back in with the dark. I thought about, this seems like a lot of dark for a Gerber daisy. And I thought about trying to stamp in Calypso Coral and then do this, but it was last minute and I wasn't sure how well it would work, so I didn't bother trying it. Okay, so now I'm just going to quick do this last. It's probably more than a quarter, but it's been blending okay. because the dark that I'm adding to it, and then have to go back to it's still wet because it's such a quick application. So the reason I'm saying that, oh, a bright blue, that would be cool. So the reason I'm saying that is because when you're using Stampin' Blends and you're wanting to blend the color, you want to do it while it's still wet, so you don't lay down the color and do the whole thing. Like if I did this whole sunflower and then went back to blend the color that I put down, it might be dry already and not as easily blendable. Okay, so then the last thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to deepen this color in the center. I wanted this center to be mostly yellow, but there is a dark, like a black here, and I'm just going to, using soft suede makes it dark enough, actually. So that's funny. You can't bring yourself to do it. So kind of cool. All right, so I'm going to attach this to my card. This is a quick reminder, make sure you have something underneath it because it does soak through every time, especially the more color that you add. So I'm going to put this down on my designer paper. So I'm mostly covering up this pretty designer paper, but I'm going off to the side so that you can see some of this extra color around here. There's my card. And then I want to thank you. I'm using, so there were some gold sequins in this bundle. By the way, this bundle and this designer paper is on page 43 in the mini catalog. Desert Details is the bundle. Delicate Desert is the suite. Thanks for sharing, Janet. So there were gold sequins in there, but I'm using those for something else. So I'm going with the butterflies. I don't have a big enough piece on here that's helping me. Oops. Using my finger. Okay, so we're going to put one here. One there. I'm going to do a couple down here. And I tried putting it on the flower yesterday when I was doing this, and it just sort of got lost. So, so there it is. Cool, right? So, last I knew, the Celebrate Sunflower is still available, so you can get it now. You can order it, go to my website, dazzledbystamping.com, and click shop. Okay, so my next card is actually a fun fold. I don't know if she's on here yet, but my friend and fellow demonstrator, Jamie, she showed us a fun fold at our meeting last week. Last week? Yeah. And I'm making it my own. She actually copied it from Terry Gaines. She's another demonstrator. And I made it my own. So I will give you the measurements for this on my website, and I'll give you a link to the website. I always edit the words at the top of the post of this video so that you can find stuff and links and measurements and shopping links and stuff like that. So this is actually 10 3/4 inches long. So you actually do have to cut. Oh, I got ink on the back of this. Good thing that's the outside, or the, I don't know what you call it, backside. So you do actually have to cut 1/4 inch off. And then we're going to fold this. I'm not going to bother trying to remember and tell you the the score lines here, but there's 2 score lines here, and then there's identical score lines over here. So again, I will post the measurements on my blog and put links here. I keep going across this adhesive that I put down to hold my Gerber daisy in place. Need to get rid of that. Okay, so I don't know what this, I don't remember what this fold is called. But anyway, so we're gonna have a fold like this. So this finished size right here is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, just like a normal card. And we're gonna be putting pieces on our flaps here that we have. So I'm gonna start with, I'm gonna make my my pieces that sort of go on the outside. I'll show you the card that we made with Jamie at the end. I went a little bit simpler. Oh, first of all, I have to show you. Okay, so here's the designer paper again. I just absolutely love this designer paper. And then these are the 2 dies that I used. Southwestern, as Sandy helped me say. So here is one, and then this one's a little bit smaller, and you actually can, and I think I showed it when this first came out, you can put the die on the inside of this, and so then just make a frame of this, but I wanted 2 separate pieces, so here's one, and then here's a smaller one that I'm using twice. So I'm first going to use my big flower. I'll show you the stamp set again. I should show you the sunflower set again too. Okay, sorry. This is the one I just got done with. And it has, oh, I had the dies somewhere too, but I don't know where I put them for this. It has the pieces to, maybe it's up here. It is up here. Okay, so here are the dies. So it has this piece that you can actually cut like a flower all on its own. It has the ribbing of the petals and whatever. Then it has this one that cuts out the flower that you stamped. There's these extra, I like these extra leaves. And then there's some, again, framed or detailed leaves and framed leaves for what you're doing. Oh, and then there's a smaller, there's this smaller one that cuts this out too. Okay. All right, now I will go back to, so here's all the dies for this stamp set. So you can put, obviously, the frames inside the other. There's 2 different border ones. I don't know why you don't see 2. Maybe there's only 1 border die, but there are 2 border stamp sets, or 2 border stamps here. Okay, so I'm using the big one first, and then I'm using the small one. So I'm using Sahara Sand, just going with a soft flower. And because of how I want to stamp it, I'm going to stamp up here first in full color. And I would just come down here, but I want to make sure that I don't have any, like when you stamp off on your, like these pieces right here, when you stamp off the cardstock, you end up still with a dark little piece there that you don't want if you want the stamped off version. So I inked it up and stamped it again, and then I can come back here and get my stamped off version without the extra darkness. Okay, so there's that. Oh, still need it. Okay, so this is gonna be, here's one, and then I want the small one. And this one I'm going to ink up each time. So I'm just making a little border with this one going back and forth. All right. I'm using Stays On. I'm not going to stamp words on that one. I probably would have, but as you can see, these are longer. I love this saying, so you know I'm going to use this saying. And these are longer, and I couldn't fit it on this the skinny thing, maybe let the fun begin, but I don't know. It just didn't feel like how this card was going to look, so I didn't use that. So, You Are What Sunshine Feels Like is going right here in black. Black stays on, to be exact. The only thing I used Memento on today was the big Gerber Daisy because I was using Memento. Okay, so get my silicone mat. How many of you have the silicone mat and think it's amazing? I just love this. Every now and then I can't get this started. First of all, okay, I have to tell you, I had to tell somebody yesterday at my club, if it keeps stopping on you and skipping on you, I'm taking this apart right now, make sure that you don't have big globs of adhesive at the top of your cartridge itself, your case. It will totally make it so that it won't, so that when you run it, it won't come out the way that it's supposed to, and it will start and stop the way that we hate when it does. So make sure that that's clean. So I clean that at least every time that I switch a new cartridge. And if I'm having any kind of trouble, I check that also. So, silicone mat. I'm glad you have one, Marlene. I love it. I have it for all my classes now, so that to make sure that everybody has it. Okay, so if you're having any kind of problem with this getting started, start on the mat. Or if you don't want it to cause a problem, like I didn't stop off the mat, so it caused me a problem again. If you stop and start on the mat itself, first of all, I just pulled off the adhesive from there. It just doesn't stay. You can roll it off easily. And then it helps you get it started too. So I'm putting this on the smaller one. This was Soft Succulent, by the way, that I cut this out of. And then this one's also going on that same piece. Well, the same design of piece, if I can find it. It's hiding. Not the exact same piece. It's not front and back. It's two individual pieces. Okay. So, and then this designer paper piece, I sort of feel like I might need white behind this. Is there enough room? I think I need to do it. Okay, I'm going rogue. Good thing Dot's here because she'll appreciate it. I have some white here. I need to find it. Okay, so I know that this piece is 2 3/4 by 4. So I'm going to try 1/8 of an inch bigger and see if that still leaves enough room around it. I'm not sure if it will. I might have to take some of it off. Some more of it off. Okay, so we got a tiny little white around here. I just feel like it will stand out better. Oh yeah, that still leaves good room. Okay, yay, that makes me happy. Okay, so we're gonna put this down on the white that I just cut. I gotta remember to make sure that I give you the measurement for that white too, because it wasn't in my head for my original sample. Okay, and then put this down. Oh, yay, that makes me happy. Okay, so now all these pieces become, you appreciate I'm going rogue. Oh, good, that makes me happy, Nancy. Okay, so all these pieces are going to go down on these flaps. On the inside, in fact, I'm going to start with the inside. So this is going to be the inside, so you can write on it. And so I'm just going to, see, I didn't start it on the thing, so it was giving me a problem. So I can show it, you can write on it, I can show it as centered as possible, And I think it'll help me line up on the outside. Okay, so that's what the inside is going to look like. Now, I'm going to put the this one down first. And for it fitting on this panel the way that I want it to, I know that it needs to stay inside these triangle points here. I need it to stay to the left of that. So I can put adhesive. I actually want to put 3 strips of adhesive. And I just need to make sure that they're not crossing that line. Okay, so I need to put it on there farther. There we go. Okay, so they were, oh, I have a little bit showing. I went too far. So I'm going to rub it off. Because I don't want to glue my card shut. That's no good. It makes me think of when I have a Mommy and Me class. It seems like there's always one little girl. Usually a girl. I don't think the boys usually do it. Always one little girl that says, okay, can I lick it now? Talking about the envelope. But she hasn't written in it to anybody. She it's so funny. So I'm like, no. You got to write in it first. Okay, that's good enough for now. Okay, so showing you what I'm trying to do here. I'm making sure that my point here is close to this edge. But also, obviously, I need to make sure that there's nothing back there. I'm going to have to clean that up better later. Okay, so that's how that one's going. And then this one actually can go farther because it's a smaller piece. So I can sort of go on that, on that halfway mark. And then I'm actually going to do it with this open so that I can line these lines up here so it's all centered the same way. So here you have your card. Cool, right? Okay, now I'm going with the same brushed brass butterflies on this one too. Because I wanted to bring out the gold again. And flowers and butterflies make sense. Oops. It's not working all this way. Put one there. I feel like I just had more come out. There we go. That's better. And I'm going to put one over here where there's not gold. There. My card. Okay. So I'm done stamping. And I'm going to pick you guys back up and I will show you all the projects again. Okay, so I'm going to upside down you, put you backwards again, and see how that works well enough. I dropped it way down, but that's okay. Okay, so I just had a gnat or something fly at me. Sorry, little distraction. Squirrel! Gnat! All right, so so here's my card. So obviously you want, the idea is you want 2 different sizes so that you can see, oops, I can't get it in this like this. 2 different sizes so that you can see both panels, and then you open up to the inside. I thought I was holding a different panel with the one hand. Okay, so this was also me going rogue or making the project my own, because this was not, like, there are specific measurements for the project that we did with Jamie. But for my card, my measurements became my dies that are sort of graduated. So there's that one. So I'm going to show you the card that I made with Jamie. And she actually cased it from Terry Gaines, who made this card. So this is another bundle that is retiring. This is the Hues of, Happiness Abounds bundle, Hues of Happiness Suite. So, so this is her version. Obviously, you can do it in whatever. I keep forgetting which hand each panel is in. So you can make it whatever color you want, and whatever. So she had specific sizes of what these panels were and used more dies, but I stamped more instead. Okay, and then here is my Gerber Daisy. So I'm sort of happy with that. It makes me happy. All right. So happy. Okay, so things to tell you. So I told you Celebrate Sunflowers and the dies are available still, last I knew. The dry brushed designer paper, it's going away, but it's not on the retired list. And so I don't know if it's going to be like stocked online. I'm not sure what they're doing with that. But get it, it's gorgeous. You actually still can get soft succulent cardstock also, that I noticed. And so I have exciting news. I have catalogs, but I'm not making them available until Friday. They're not ready yet. I don't have my stickers on them. So I'm going to be available for people to come pick them up. I'm going to say 9:30 on Friday until 4:30 on Friday. And then beyond that, you're just going to have to check with me when I'm going to be here for as far as coming to get them. So if you are in a club with me, if you have you place regular orders with me, or you've placed an order with me recently, the catalog to you is free. If you've not ordered from me before, or you've not ordered from me in a long time, the catalogs, I'm going to charge $5, but give you a coupon for $5 off your first order. So, keep that in mind. So if I've not seen you in a long time, that's the way that I'm handling it. So, rather than just giving away all the catalogs, but if you're a regular with me, then you are good to go. Just come get it. So this Friday, 9:30 to 4:30 is when I'm not putting it out on the porch this time. So you're going to have to knock. Sorry. I also have classes that are open. The first one that has a deadline is my Stamp-A-Stack. It's my annual Moms, Dads, Grads, Brides, and Babies Stamp-A-Stack. So, that is, so you don't have to make a Mother's Day card if you don't have a need for that, but it can be a feminine card. Maybe you make it a birthday or thinking of you or something like that. I'll probably make sure that I have thinking of you there for whatever. Mother's Day or feminine, Father's Day or masculine, graduation or congratulations. Maybe you have tons of graduation, maybe you don't have any, but you can always use a congratulations card. Bride, so maybe you need a wedding card, or maybe you need an anniversary card. And then the last one is baby or maybe kid birthday or whatever. I already know that I want to use, it's already gone. You probably can get, no, I don't know. I have to look at it. I know that I want to use the Elephant Parade stamp set for that one. So it's gone, but that's what I have in mind using. I haven't designed my card yet, but that's the plan. So you get to make 15 cards. So that's the first one that has a deadline. The second one is my All Occasions card class. It's the last Tuesday of the month every month. And you have until that Monday to register. And then there's my Dazzling Card Club that I'm featuring the Sweet Citrus stamp set. They're fun cards. It's amazing. So they're all open. So I will make sure to put links for those too. I think that's all that I have for you today. So thank you so much for joining me, and enjoy this gorgeous sunshine. I love it. It makes me happy. And the summer's almost here. So thanks again for joining me, and I will see you again next Wednesday. I don't know the date, 19th, I think. That's the deadline for the Stamp Stack. So I will see you next week, 10:30 in the morning. Have a great week, and we'll talk to you then. Bye.